I just went on to TikTok for a quick second. Last time was so fucking weird, but I just went on TikTok for a quick second and saw a couple things, but it wasn't anything really new except for somebody else using Will Smith as the butt of their joke. Poor Will. He's gonna be the joke for a while probably. So, but you know that's the thing. You know your lies, your skeleton, everything catches up with you. You got to be for real, for real. You got to be honest and authentic. It's like something I learned when I was a kid. Is be real. It catch up with you. If you're not real, it always catches up with you. Anyways, there was a bunch of different stuff that was going on. Hold on, now I'm gonna sit back and tip back. Hold on. Let's fucking tip back more. Oh, God. What was wild last night was I went to bed like really. I was like, I'm going to bed earlier and earlier. It's wild. It's like 6 p.m. I'm going to bed. But I don't know. I think it was probably almost 7. It had to be 6:30. And but it was like 5:30 and I started doing everything else because it's getting dark so early. It's like, I don't know. I don't have programs that I like to watch or anything. It's like I always have this stuff on. And so anyways, I turned our thing back, and so it was starting over, and it would be 9 hours, and then it was like 3 hours. Stella woke up, so I gave her some medicine. I saw, and I flipped it back to the start again, and then a while later I woke up. Something woke me up. Oh, because the thing ended. It went all the way to the end. And then I was on another thing, and that woke me up. And I was like, well, what the fuck? That was 10 hours. How would I have gone 10 hours? Like, how in the hell did that happen? And so then I went and started it back over. And then it just went another 3 hours. Well, I have no idea. Nothing on time is making sense. But there's other people saying that kind of stuff. You know, time is just, it doesn't go together. Like, people are noticing, like, their digital and their regular clocks won't stay the same time. Like, all this stuff won't stay because it's just all artificial. It's all falling apart. And, so Elon's not launching today. He's got it all set up. He can launch today, but he's going to launch tomorrow, which is the 17th. Which is, so tomorrow he's gonna launch. So then there was all these tweets coming out. So Trump did a tweet where he let out go. He left it out of his tweet. And so it was obvious. So then he did another tweet and he injected go. And so the people who follow all this stuff, they're like, oh, it's go time. And then, so there was like, there's Q drops and stuff like that they can go look up. And now, like, there's numbers and all this stuff. Like, these people who do that stuff, they're really, they know what to look for and stuff. And I think they're just fascinating. Like I said, I had so much fun watching them in 2020. But, so they're seeing it's go time. The ones that they looked up said lights out, this is it. And she did gematria on some of this stuff, and that's what it was saying too. It's like lights out, this is it. So there was all these signs that it's going to be this weekend, which makes it where it seems like, okay, so he's going to go up with this ginormous fucking rocket and this big thing that everybody's talking about. Like, for people who don't know that there's a firmament, they got to be going like, what? He's going to break the firmament? I thought we're spinning out in space. What? What are you talking about, firmament? What's a firmament? So, because he's saying he's going up to bust the firmament. So, you know, there's all these, this is all, you got to think of it as all the awakening. It just is so funny, too, because when you watch some of the government people and the stuff they'll get hung up on, you know, and you're waiting for them to catch on, and some of them just dig in deeper. We'll see where it all ends. It's going to end in a lot of humility. A lot of like, oh, God, that's embarrassing. I thought, like, what had me so driven? What was the drive inside of me that had me so sure knew what was going on? It's like, a little thing called ego and shadows, a little dark magic in there. But so anyways, I think he's gonna go up. On the gematria thing, it said like all things about like the power grid go down and stuff. So whatever the things they were putting in from all these details and stuff. And so he's going to launch it. I don't know, because Florida, I don't even know where he's launching from. Is he launching from Florida? It used to be everything was launched from Florida. I don't even fucking know anymore. It's just utter chaos. It's like you see something over in LA and it's going crazy, and then they'll go, oh yeah, well, Elon launched a rocket the other day. It's like, so I don't know. They just got shit going out there trying to bust out the firmament. It's like we're in prison with all these wackadoos who finally were like, fuck, we're in prison too. How do we get out of here? Bah! Start beating on it. And we're all just sitting back. Well, we're going to get out the right way because we're raising our vibration. So whatever goes on with you guys, I don't know. But so they are going to try and hit in through, bust it tomorrow. But I think, because you can't bust it. You can't get through, like, that frequency holds you. And you're low, and if they think, like, well, the rocket's going super fast, can they tell the frequency? It's like the universe is smarter than y'all. Just is. Sorry. I don't know how it's going to go down. But whatever's going to go down is destiny. It's how it's supposed to go down. And it could be our outrage is what really opens it. But I kind of feel like they're going to go up and hit into it in a big fancy display of color and sparks or something, and it's going to put the grid out, and maybe they'll even make a hole. There's some weird things. I think it was Italy I saw, and it was like, I don't know if it was over Florence or something, but it looked like stars were falling out of the sky into the water. It was trippy looking. And so many more people getting footage of things in the forest and stuff. Like, our supernatural world is letting us know, hey, you guys waking up in there? It's all around you. And people get spooked and stuff, but it's like, guys, this has always been around you. You should have been spooked when you didn't know. Knowing is what you want to know. You want to know what's out there. Like I've always thought, how strange these people just go deep out in the forest, and these fucking hikers, they all go by themselves. Like, you know how many fucking hikers disappear? So fucking many hikers disappear. Like, ugh. That's a danger sport for sure. Hold on. I just got my tea. So hold on a sec. Oh, I was thinking about something with the tea. Hold on. Oh, yeah, because I had just seen, I think it's called Devil's Claw. It's Devil's Claw, I'm pretty sure. And it's a weird looking plant that looks like a little stick with 3 little sticks out. So it looks like a little weird claw. It's not cute or anything. But the woman who was talking about it, who did the joke about Will, she said that she used to have really bad back pain where she was bent over all the time. Her back hurt so bad. And she seemed pretty young because you saw her hand, and her hand was tattooed. And so she looked like she was pretty young. I mean, my hand's tattooed. But you can sometimes tell, like, when you're seeing someone's hand. And so she said that she got that Devil's Claw thing, and then started doing a tea or something. And then you can do other things too. You can do like extracts. You can do because you got to look up the plant that you're trying to do it with, because they all have a different way. So some you can boil them and then get the condensed water stuff. Some you can mix them with oil and keep them in a thing. Like, I have a bunch of stuff with mixed in oil. Like, and I don't know all the names of all this stuff. Like, a lot of this is new to me too. And then you can also add, you get like the strongest kind of alcohol, like 100 proof, Everclear, or really expensive, cheap vodka or something. I remember back when I was a teenager, and you're trying to be cool, like, and they're like, hey, you want a shot of Everclear? Yeah, sure. I was like, fuck. I was like fucking drinking gasoline. I used to be like, Oh my God. How I used to drink. Oh, when I was a teenager. Oh my God. I definitely drank to blackout drunk a lot of times. Like I was a death wish teenager. It's like I wouldn't have cared less. I could have cared less what happened to me. But nothing can happen unless it's supposed to. So, anyways, so you can do like that Everclear or something like that, and that makes a different thing. I do these teas, and you know, I had a big giant bag of, oh, okay, wait, I was thinking of, because that's my nettle leaf, a giant thing of this nettle leaf. I just got a new one of the, it's called Boondock root, burdock root or something like that. I think it's burdock root. I just got another great big bag of burdock root. Oh, and I got another big bag of mullein because I had mullein tea bags. And in the mullein tea bags, it was more like the burdock root. It was more like root and stuff. And then the big bag I just got of the mullein, it is like crunched up leaves or something. It's a little bit more like the nettles, but it still is like a different texture and stuff. Like some of this stuff is like, oh my God, they're just going out in the yard getting some debris. Sometimes the smell of it is just even like, man. But it's supposed to be good for you, drinking all those roots and stuff. So I'm gonna keep doing it. And I just think, I don't know, I just think we get caught up in thinking, you know, I don't think people thought health tasted good, but it was that same kind of dark energy of like, well, and then play the victim. Well, I don't know how I gained so much weight. And it's like, well, were you taking care of yourself? Yesterday we were talking about something, and I told my daughter, you know, I never gained more than 45 pounds in my whole life from my puberty weight. And she's like, what's a puberty weight? And I said, well, you know, like when you become your adult size, and then whatever weight you are, you know, once you go through puberty and then you're that size. And mine was like 9th grade. And I said, I've never gained more than 45 pounds from that. And now I'm back to that. I think I'm less than that. And that's probably because as you age, a lot of your muscle, like, I think some things just don't stay as thick and strong, like my butt. So anyway, she was like, man, that is weird. But, you know, it's just like my health and stuff, my body is always, like, I've just had a different attitude. And like I said, my attitude got me called toxic and everything to the point where I got body dysmorphia. I was so confused. I was a wreck. I was on all those pills. But it wasn't the body dysmorphia that got me on the pills. It all just went together in my worst, when I was at my worst. It was like doing pills and which is tons of drugs. I mean, I was a fucking chemical factory. Just here, try a little of this. Well, that didn't work. Try this. Put 2 of those together. Add this one in. And it's like, okay, I trust you. And, oh, and this is going on low key too. And I told y'all this was coming. And this is going to get hairy, man. Because I was kind of surprised when I saw this. But there's a low key arrest happening. And I think it's military too. Showing up at people's houses and arresting them. I'm not sure though. It was just about this low-key arrests are happening, and they're arresting doctors and nurses, lawyers, all the stuff what I said. There's gonna be there's gonna be all sorts of people. And they're like, no, I don't know what's going on, why they're being arrested. Like, they don't know or anything. Well, I do. The crimes against the human beings that you are living with. Well, when you don't consider their life as important and you play along to get a paycheck, well, I guess you're gonna find out there's consequences. Bad ones. And I don't know how, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that would be the determining factors, but, you know, this is serious. This is real serious, what's happening. And this is what, you know, I've been saying it a while, but everybody's playing their part. So there's no way I could have. I mean, the universe obviously didn't want me out there telling people this stuff ahead. They had to, but it's not like anybody would listen because I've been here talking, and the people who come to listen are the only ones who have ears to open to hear. Our mind is willing to accept new information or something, look at things in a different perspective, which seems to be, a big problem for so many people. And I'll tell you another thing that's whacked. Hold on a sec. Because when I'm talking about the flags and shit, and what I've been saying about the flags, and so, and see, I think this is a big display of Pelosi and Newsom's kind of corruption, and they're related by marriage or some bullshit. Like all these people, it's just like, they get their other hokey relatives to jump on board. All these fucking social climbers put money before life, don't give a fuck about anything but being cool or something. Like your coolness just burnt you out, buddy. And because he was even on the news saying some nonsense. So I was like, oh, okay, you're being, anytime they're on the hot seat, coming on the main stage, it's their takedown. It's their humiliation. It's, you got to see what these people are all about. So there's footage of, the big thing of Xi getting to come for his big old visit. And they've taken down all of our flags. They've lined the roads with Chinese flags. And then when I saw that, I was like, wow, people, you better start understanding who's really in charge here. Because the flag tells you everything. And when they're putting up another person's flag, that's, unless that's a fake history that I was taught, that the flag that is being there, that's the flag that's in charge. And that anything other is an act of war. So if we should be able to see that is Newsom and that they're making an act of war against us. And I don't know, I think this stuff is gonna somehow come out, because I don't know. I'm telling you, the history of the flag, that's what it was for. It was, they've used the flags for all sorts of things. White flag to surrender. A black flag was death. Everything had a representation. The flag means something more than, it's like people have lost track. Like there was even a whole big old, in one of these protests, they were burning the flag, and I was like, ooh, man, dude, did you do that in my camera? Well, obviously, because they saw ya. That's a fucking federal crime right there. Like, that was something like when we were a kid, about the flag, oh my God, there was flags there. Oh, gotta go out and fold it. You gotta be so careful. It can't touch the ground. If you burn that flag, that is the highest treason you can do. I was like, dang, these people are all out here just doing this shit. I was like, man, everybody's just out there digging their graves. Dig a little harder, a little faster, better get going. It's coming in hot. It's coming in hot. And so if Elon goes up there and he hits into the firmament, and it does make a big show and puts out the power. So I think in one of the demonstrative things it said something about, be ready, be prepared or something like that to have your stuff. So, because the lights are going to go out, and I don't know how long they'll do it. To me, it's kind of like, when they locked us down and took away people's jobs, and it just wanted to stress people out, but people started going inward. People started going inside. People started creating. Like a lot of painters came out of that time. There was I'm sure a lot of writers. I'm sure there's tons of books that came out of that time, because I have seen so many people talking about their book that they wrote and stuff. So a lot of people went in. A lot of people started healing. A lot of people started facing their demons. And so it kind of backfired on them. And so when this goes down, it's going to be like, if it goes like that, where some big thing happens, and And then especially if people like Firmament, what's he trying to do up there? Especially because they're seeing it on the news and stuff. Like, there's got to be, this isn't just like a couple conspiracy theorists over here. Yeah, he said firmament. Can you believe it? He's going to do the firmament. No, it's like the news. It's like all over the place. He's going up to bust the firmament. Elon said, and he fucking has X. He's got to be saying it. It's like, there's got to be tons of people talking about it. And so, hold on a sec. It gets so cold so fast. I got to drink it real quick. And so, you think about, you know, that, and it makes a big fucking, because all those chemicals and shit in the sky too. And then, if it's going to blast, because it could be a part of, they're going to blast some stuff out so we can see better. Because they've got so much atmospheric gunk up there to try and block out what's happening above us. And so, which I swear to God, the firmament is getting lower and heavier or something. It is so freaking loud. I cannot believe I can fucking hear cars coming from so far down the mountain thing. It's like, it sounds like it's just echoing so loud. And because where I'm at, you know, I'm in the mountains, and so the sound echoes back and forth, and then the state highway goes outside of my neighborhood. It goes down. You know, this isn't like a city or something. And so anyways, you can hear shit far. And there keeps being so many weird sounds and explosions. And just like last night, we were outside for a bit doing potty time, and there was kids outside playing, which it all of a sudden became super nice out. It is having the weirdest fucking weather. And there's all these kids out playing and stuff, and it was so loud. I was like, this is wild. And it's like, I swear to God, you could hear someone fart in their house and it echo through the fucking neighborhood. It's so fucking loud. And so if it does that, see, and it makes any kind of thing up in the sky, anything, and then all of a sudden the power goes out, because they're saying, because there's also an interview with Tucker, and he was on a podcast, I think. Like, I don't follow all the I don't follow all these different groups like that, so I don't know like all these different podcast people and stuff that people listen to. And so I don't know who this person was, but I mean, they're obviously somebody. They had Tucker, so it could have been even a TV show. I don't know. So they had him on there interviewing him, and they were saying, what do you think is going to happen or something like that? And he said, it's like, do we need to worry about nukes and all that stuff? And he said, no, we don't need to worry about any of that. They're not going to do that. I don't think they're going to. He said, what they're going to do is they're going to put out our grid. And he said, when that goes down, and he started going through how it's going to be affected, he said this happened in Katrina. When that went down, all the power, everything went down. It just turns into total chaos. And when people get scared, confirmation, when people get scared, they become really, really scary. He goes beyond animals. They just become super scary. And he said, this is going to be inner cities. This is why if you are in the city, if you are in a very heavily condensed area, you got to make sure you have everything you need, that you don't need to come out of your house. Even Tucker said, you know, you get your weapons and you lock down. He said, this is not the time to be out trying to go find a different place and stuff. And see, that was always like my thing too. It was like, no, the universe is keeping me put here, right here for a reason. And not opening things up, because this is going to be my safe zone. When whatever goes down, is what it seems. Oh my gosh, it gets loud. So he said, stay safe, and he said, you know, make sure you got these. Like a lot of people, like, there's this sheriff in, I think, Florida. Oh my God, he is so fucking funny. I was like, this guy, he'll like pull up a picture of like this guy got all shot at by the SWAT team, and it's just like, fuck around, find out. You don't mess around with the SWAT team and stuff. This guy's hilarious. He's like, that's what we want. We want somebody who's just authentic. Just say it as it is. Don't fucking play around. And so That guy cracks me up. My mom sent me a compilation of this guy yesterday. I was like, who is this guy? That's hilarious. And just like now all the fucking Zionist cock is he's like, the Zionist guy says it so many times. And I know you can't keep saying this. No way they're gonna keep letting us talk about the Z words. It's because that's the people. I mean, it's just coming out all over the place. So it was Shiva, I think, is his name. I think he's a doctor or something. I think his name is something Shiva or something. I think he's like Indian from India, but he's American. But if you want to know what he looks like that, like dark curly hair, dark skin. And I don't know, he's like 45, 50 years old. I don't know. He's a grown-ass man. He's not young. And, but he's not old. And not like old as, I mean, he could be 55 or 60 or something. It's not like I think that's old. Because I'm 62 and I don't feel old. I don't feel old at all. I feel like younger. Like you get younger. The more you free yourself, the more you don't have the pressures. You don't have all the pressure of life. You're just free to just, go out and dig your toes in the mud and sit and look at it and watch it dry. Just, do whatever, skim rocks across the lake. It's just like, you just get to do whatever you feel like doing. And, whatever, but this guy's little interview thing is going around everywhere, and so he's going to run for president. And he even said that, Trump, he sucks that Z cock too. Everybody's sucking the Z cock. Every A-list actor, everybody who's made it anywhere has to suck the Z cock. There's no way about it, because that's, who runs the world. And so it's more and more coming out. I mean, more and more people talking about, the Yahtzees are really the blues. That was all a big scam. The H thing never fucking happened. That was a big scam. That they talk about this place, and how protected we are, but then you put up pictures of what the real is, and that place is that is their holy land. That is their place. So when this gets dusted, because it's going to get dusted supposedly, and hopefully people who are decent people are leaving there, but I mean, it's looking bad for Iceland, I'll tell you that. Fuck, like, it may be one of those places it's just going to goddamn blow up. Like, even scientists are being concerned. I don't know why they're not just moving these people off of the whole fucking island. It's just like, damn. Fuck. And so, I don't know, they've got fucking flames coming up through the streets and shit. It's like, I don't know how far back. I don't even know if they're... Because what they try and do is just keep us scared and nervous and stuff. And now you got more people also talking about Wag the Dog. Like, how long I've been talking about that. You see, it's just so wild, because I'll talk about this stuff for so long, and then it takes so long, and then all of a sudden there's other people talking about it, and then they'll all start talking about it. It's like, I've been talking about this so long. But yeah, now they're starting to put it together about Wag the Dog, and starting to put it together about the Strip. And so there is some people who are putting it together, but there's still a lot of people out there, the warriors are out there marching for justice. And it's funny how they've marched in on old Joe's Delaware home, and they've marched in on what is it now, the Democrat Party something or other. Now they've marched up on there. It's like, yeah, these SJW people, I don't think they know who's leading the march at all. They're just along for the ride. It's like, they think they're doing something good in the world, which, you're just being misdirected. But luckily, probably a lot of them are young and they don't have a lot of stuff to heal, I guess. But they're making their stupid ass mistakes because they gotta see, like, you can't be up your own ass so far and think that you know every fucking thing, especially when you're young. Like, goddamn, and then to turn off the older generation and say they have no worth. Like, well, then you're just standing in the dark and you don't know where the hell to go. Because that's how it works, is each generation holds the next one's hand. It's like a baton that we're always handing, but they've disrupted all these communications. They've disrupted the Wi-Fi between the soul and the vehicle. They've disrupted the energy flow between the generations. So they've got a lot of disruption, but a lot of people jump on. They want to be divided. They want to be hateful. They want to blame somebody. Yeah, it's my mom's fault. My grandparents suck. My mom sucks. And everybody sucks but me. I got to go find my other friends that don't suck. So, and they'll find a group and they'll all agree on, yeah, everybody sucks. And then all of a sudden, something else comes up and it's like, well, I don't agree about that. I don't either. And so then they start arguing. It's like, no, nobody can stick together. You can't stick together on hate, especially. It's all going to keep falling apart. And fuck, it can get you arrested at this point. Like, nothing will surprise me. I mean, they can clear out all of fucking San Francisco overnight. Like, all of the fucking homeless people are all gone overnight. And then you can put up all these red flags everywhere. Get it all looking beautiful and spiffy. So you can, welcome your master. And that guy comes in with his smug-ass smile because he's playing a big part. I don't even know if Newsom is really the real original one or something, because some of these people are already gone down, like Xing or whatever. I feel like it's more of a show. Everything is so that we can see this relationship between these people. And so, as we talk about the blue and all of that stuff, so what is coming out is, we have the 3-letter agencies, right? Well, the blue people have a different one, and it starts with an M, and it is, that's weird too. It's kind of like mafia. That's weird. But I can't think of the word. It's like 4 or 5 letters. It's the most intensive spy agency of all. Like, they've got the top. They're the top ones of these people, these spy people. And that place too, where they come from, that also has they've got all the strongest military. I mean, like, they are under some sort of like a dome and stuff. Like, they're so heavily protected, this place. If you're bad, that you get dual citizenship too. So, and how many of our politicians have dual citizenship there? And how many of the people who run all of the 3-letter agencies? I mean, I know the one that starts with a C. I don't know about the one that starts with an F. But the one that that starts with a C and ends with a C, that one, somebody went through all of their thing, all dual citizenship, because they were all blue. And I'm sure if we went through the one that starts with an F, I'm sure we'll see. It's an infiltration. It's like the bad people. If we think of the nucleus, it's not the Vatican. It's this place over here that has this strip as their little, you need a fresh one. Just walk over there. There's multiple. They're just everywhere. They don't even have parents. They're just out there struggling. Do them a favor. They don't give a fuck. And they like that dark meat, boy. They really do. As they don't have a little village of a bunch of little light skin, but I guess it's probably the difference in, like in chicken and white meat and dark meat. Dark meat's got a lot more, it's just weird too, is because, it's fucking hologram anyway. God, this whole thing is so weird. But so, anyways, so what's coming out is, Maxwell. Okay. See, some of these words, like, you're just not allowed to say them, especially more than once. So, GM, we'll just call her GM. And she's still fighting for her right to get out of there, her dad was the head of this group. it starts with an M. And it's kind of a little, sounds a little mafia-ish kind of thing. But anyway, so he was ahead of that. So she was basically worked for him. And so Jeff as well. So Jeff and her became partners, but kind of like, there was this show, it was a TV show, I think, and it had a couple, and they were supposedly Russian, and they were supposedly, I mean, they were SPYs, and they were living like regular people. So it's kind of like what these ones were doing. But I don't know how Jeff got found. It was because they always find these people, which, you know, in case you didn't know, one of the Harvard medical professors is also was in those kind of things where they cuff you up, because he was running such a big, you know, with the, you know, those things, those organs that you play, and what you do when you go out into the fields when all your crops are ready. So he was big in that, and so he's busted. So that all every bus leads to fucking so many more names and stuff, and so there's so much. Like it is crazy how many things are being busted right now. If you aren't on something and seeing all these different local news and stuff, it's wild. There's a lot going on. Like don't get caught up in thinking, oh, there's nothing going on. Oh no, there's a lot going on. Oh no, we're moving full speed ahead at this point. And they're just like plowing through. You want to hold on to those banks? Well, go ahead. We're going to just start taking people down right and left. We're going to get people to start questioning things. So he got busted. And there's what is that place called? It's like the same thing that happened when Charlie, what's his name? You know, winning, Charlie Sheen. It's like the same thing that when he got exposed, it was like a big ring of professional ladies, which probably include men, because, you know, Will and his buddies, they would have big man sex orgy parties. Like there's a lot of men apparently in Hollywood that just like to go have man sex orgy parties because they would have them. And there was people who would go and go like, I'm not going to any of Will's parties. They're weird. Will and his perviness. No telling what happened to the guy, you know. I mean, he started young and cute too. So, you know, they broke Leonardo. They broke a lot. They broke Corey Haim. They broke a lot of people. You know, they fucking busted him up. So, and they got mind control, and no telling if they break one and then just go clone him, bring out another one, and the clone just keeps getting more and more like beat down. I don't know. I don't even know how much of the person stays in the clone. I don't know. I mean, they've already come out and said that they can move our consciousness into another body. Like I knew that they could. What did I say? I said, and they'll fucking put you in a black box. They'll put you in a fucking video game. These motherfuckers. Like we're gonna let all the souls loose out of the video games now, people. Let's all have a big ceremony. Maybe we'll go through some of that. I don't know. Maybe they're just doing it low key behind our backs. I don't know. But some big professional thing got busted, and this name list is supposed to be huge, much bigger than Jeff's. Which to me, it's like they keep making this big thing about his list of people who went there, which to me is absurd. Because, I mean, if you see like repeat names, like you see somebody's name on there, like, you know, I don't want to say his first, I want to say his first name, and I gotta try and remember. He's married to HRC. What in the hell is that guy's name? Well, you know who it is. Clinton. So he's on there like fucking a million times. So that one you can be pretty much like, there's a few people, like Gator Boy, he's on there a bunch of times and stuff, and he tries to be like, oh, I didn't know. I was just trying to make a deal with the guy about a business deal. It's like, oh, fuck off. You knew what the fuck you're doing, you fucking sick-ass motherfucker. And so, but the people who can go there have their own goddamn planes. Like, not everybody needs to go on his plane. Rich people have their own. Like, to me, it's more like his was like, you know, because he had handlers. And I've talked about this before, but now this is like what's coming out. So he had handlers. So he had these girls that he obviously liked young girls. He'd been doing that the whole time. And then he sets them up to, they work for him. Because the whole thing was this MOSAD, those people, that, and it could be MOSS. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? Funny. Yeah, I don't even want to say that it's two letters again next to each other, but it's interesting, isn't it? And yeah, they want us to call them Yahtzees, but let's call them the Moes. So the Moes, they wanted to get a control of the people with the money over here. Anybody, because that's what I've said the whole time, anybody who has money, that you are a target to these people. Like, if you all of a sudden got money, like if you won the lottery, I don't know that they would probably watch you. You would probably be watched. If you started doing something good with the money, helping, doing something good, start a good business or something like that, they would do something to take you down. If you were just mindlessly spending and drinking a lot and shit like that, they'd be like, ugh, they'll burn themselves out. They don't need to worry about you. They only worry about people who are trying to do something to make change and stuff, because, you know, nobody's allowed to change their fucking creation. And so they got these girls, and some, you know, like Ray Chandler, she's a handler. Chelsea, handler. I think Jennifer Aniston is. I for sure think she's a handler. I think Courtney Love, she probably. Any of these girls that just seem like... So you go up and you just become a buddy with a man. Some of these girls, you know, when they've dated a lot of different guys, it's kind of like... So to get them, and then get them to a party. Get them to a party. Somehow get them to a party. And so that's where those planes, to me, Jeff's plane would come in, because it's like, oh, we got a ride. You know, just go ahead. Yeah, come with me. We're just going to go to this fun party. It's so fun. It's on an island. There's a big cookout. There's music. It's just so fun. And so, and if you, I mean, there was certain people who knew about him, but there's a lot of people, I don't think, I mean, a lot of us never heard of this guy until recently. But people who were involved in politics and judicial, they knew, because he was already going up before judges and stuff. He was already getting a free pass. They had to give him a free pass. And because he's like a double agent or something, I don't even know all the complications they got going in this underworld espionage bullshit. I told you it was big just with the pharmaceutical companies. It's big. Like, they hire soldiers, mercenaries and shit. And they'll fucking kill over things. Like, this is the second tier that's above us. It's fucking, whoa, it's fucking violent, creepy. It is like, it's a fucking horror movie on steroids. It's out of control. And so the people who, then they get these people to come there to go to a party, and then the punch is tainted, let's say. So you get some tainted punch, and you know, this is kind of, these are kind of parties where you bring your own bottle of water and you don't let anybody touch it. You don't eat the food. You don't eat the food, you don't drink the punch. And so then the whole place is rigged, with camera everywhere. And then it's all about the black and male put it together. That's what the whole thing. So that's like when I was talking about a long while ago, is that all the people are compromised. All of our politicians and stuff, they can't do anything different. They're all compromised, and they would all have to be exposed. And that's what we're going through. That's why there's so much panic and stuff like that, is because, and then plus, once you've done one bad thing, then what's to stop you from another? I think that's why it's easy for a serial killer to just, once they get over the hump of doing it the first time, they're like, yeah, I can do it again. That was kind of fun. And then they, get into it. So once you break through that wall, it is like, I don't know. If you look at it on a spiritual level, it's like once you allow that dark energy in, it's just like right there, leading you. And so people start doing dark shit, man. Once you've done something bad, it's like, so there's people who, frequented the island. They're like, hell yeah, I'm into this, and start going all the time. And so a lot of sickness developed, I don't even know if some of the people, like, I would not be surprised at all if, like Jeff and GM didn't even partake in the meal consumption, like, but that they would get, and I don't know for sure, like they could have totally been, consumers of that product. I don't know. I'm just saying that it was like, man, I can see it so well, though. It's kind of like you want a certain group to come, and so you give them what you want, because what you're getting out of it is power. Because once you're the puppet master of these people and you have control, you get laws the way you want. You get to turn things in the direction you want it to do. And then, so that's why they've got to get all these people compromised. But that's what that whole thing was about. Was these people from this on the other side of the strip that are under this protection, the nucleus, that hold the Z people, and the blue people are their cover. The blue people are just a beard, and then why, nobody's allowed to say anything that's anti. You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that. They're the biggest victims in the world, but they need that beard. They need to be able to hide themselves. So they've used these people. And so there's people in that group that have been awake, I guess, apparently for a long time, and they're glad now for other people to start realizing that they aren't all these people, that there's very distinct groups in this blue heritage. And so it's, but it's like a certain group. And even I think if you were blue and you just wanted to be Z, I don't know that you can just automatically go. I think it's more of a closed organization. The way in is through other means, like, and I'm not sure what it is. It's like, because you gotta think about, these are people who see themselves as, these are ancient people. I saw somebody yesterday, and they were talking about, there's a lot of stuff about Abraham Lincoln. There's a lot of stuff about a bunch of presidents. There was some big presidents too. Lincoln, both his parents were black. Let's see, Andrew Jackson, one of his, what's his name? The guy who they kept saying that, not John Hancock. No, it's the other one that they're always talking about. And that he would have sex with his slave girls and stuff. He was also half. Was it Andrew Jackson? Did I already say Andrew Jackson? I don't know. You can go look. And it's funny because Prince talked about it a long time ago on an interview. he said, yeah, I was really shocked to find out there was George Washington wasn't the first president, and that there was like 8 black ones before Obama. And so, there's somehow that interview got found and people started doing research into that. And there was 14, and I guess 8 of them, 14 before George, and 8 of them were black, or half black at least. We had black people who were running their own world for a while until these, blue people decided, or the Z people decided that they were going to come and, kill them. And then get their scientists to, make little orphans and send them out on trains and deliver them by stork. You need a slave here. We're making babies right now. Take a couple. So, they didn't need to keep buying them, which I don't even know that whole thing where they told us about that. I think it was a lot of cover story and stuff. Like, who knows how much of the stuff is even real? I mean, I think it was a lot more like there was tribe people. There's been always tribe people who just want to live their simple life with their group of people. And then there was people who went and started living and building communities and making farms. There was a lot of rich black farmers back then. And, they started farming and making money, selling all their products and getting rich. And then the Z people moved in on them and started taking their stuff away from them in the way that they would do, with the cities and stuff. They put down somebody who's got all the money, and then they put down their henchmen, and they just, they just systematically destroyed people's lives and took their things away from them, imprisoned them and stuff like that. And I think probably some of them, they said, well, you can work for us. You can work for us. You and your family can have that cabin way at the back, but you got to work all day long. And because a lot of the plantations and stuff, I think that they had a whole little, little tribes, like villages back in their place. And I don't know if that's why, in some of them, why the people would get scared and start beating them and stuff to try and keep them in submission, which would, of course, backfire on them. But they would try and keep them in submission because, naturally the people start to gather and come together, making plans, and, but a lot of them, they just had jobs, they had food, they had a home, and they were back there, they had their group, they're back there playing music and singing and dancing all night and having a good time. And then especially there was pressure put on the ones that had happy plantations, those, that was probably when they started calling them degrading words, and that they would, because there's a lot of degrading words that they've used on these people. And so telling, you better get control of them because they're gonna come and kill you and stuff. And so, a lot of things on fear and control, but, it's like a very dark time when you can see into it. It's like, oh, it's just, destroying and taking over. And it's what these people have been doing for so long. Just destroy and take things over. And then, and they made this whole hidden history, but they can't contain it. Like, there's so much stuff coming out about, oh my gosh, just everything. There's so much, especially so much stuff with the giants. And but then I don't know if it was a scientist or somebody on some podcast, and they were saying, well, they had to hide the stuff about the giants because that would have showed us that what they were trying to feed us about evolution couldn't have been true. There had to be more to the story. But see, all of us, we all had questions in our minds about different things. Ever since I was little, like as soon as I heard about the pyramids, there was no cover story that they could tell me. Like, no, you guys are lying. And I knew these are intelligent beings. This is like a whole nother civilization. It was way advanced. And plus I feel like I was there anyways. I felt like a connection to it. It's like they would say, and it's like, like I said, when I was a kid, I had mapped out how I was going to get over there. I was just like, I gotta get there, gotta get there. And I was like, I gotta get home, like E.T. or something. I was very, very drawn to there, and I've still not got to go. And who knows, maybe I did go to the Grand Canyon. I didn't go down inside, but supposedly the Sphinx is down in there too. Like, and it's just wild because I think our map's so different than what we're told. I think that so much of our weather is interfered with some kind of machines. Like, they've put a lot of effort into this fake world that they created, this habitat, but now they're feeling closed in. Like, how do we get out? Well, we're getting out. They are the ones that need to be concerned because they haven't raised their vibration. And they're all being put to death anyways. And what I had heard too, they're sending them out. They're shooting them out. Like, this rocket that's about to be launched, it could be fucking carrying a bunch of them. They're shooting them out. And wouldn't that be so gross too? Like, how do they shoot out like heads and stuff like that? Why wouldn't we have all these heads falling onto the ground? Do they just... Oh, God, wouldn't that be gross? I just all of a sudden saw some heads falling on the ground and splattering like apples. Oh, wouldn't that be gross? But we're not really flesh and blood. That is a concept. And we've gotten so dug into it that we believe all about it. And they were able to, create a whole fucking flesh and blood thing about it. Even tell us what our bodies are and all this stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe they just, but supposedly they were separating them. They're not, just like the government had done to that one alien guy who had come and tried to talk to them a long time ago. And he was trying to help mankind, and they didn't want that. So they kept cutting him up or something. And then he kept showing back up, put back together. And they were getting freaked out. Whatever they were doing, nothing would affect him. Because he was, a higher being that knew it's not real. So that's why, that's why I'm leaning in on that hologram, because sickness isn't real. Sickness comes from, that's why I'm trying to not even about this tooth thing, which is trippy because this one, you can see the silver right there. And I was like, man, this is weird. Is my tooth and my silver trying to separate itself or something? Like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. I was like, fuck, maybe I should just pull my goddamn tooth out to get the silver out. And I'm in there looking, is there more silver? But I know this one has silver. And there's, even on Dr. Oz, they did a whole thing about showing how bad it is, where we need to get the silver out of our mouths, but then I got to get into the, like, but it's not really there. It's there in an illusion. So if I keep considering that this is an illusion, it's not real, it can't affect me. And that is how we move into like that superhero, like nothing you can do can affect me because I know what I am. As long as you keep thinking you're flesh and blood, then they can shoot you, they can wound you, they can do all this stuff. When you know you're not, they can, shoot bullets at you and you just keep on walking towards them. It's like, that's fake. There's nothing you can do to hurt me. And it's a lot of in your mind. Because, even if, for me, even if I'm sitting here going like, well, I know I'm a hologram and stuff, and somebody starts, blasting me, it's so programmed in my mind, I'm automatically going to be like, ooh, but you got to think about the Matrix, how they can just, because that's what we really are. But they just have us convinced so that we can be controlled. And then people, they burden themselves and they get heavier and sicker and, trudging through life is so hard. But it's an illusion because you are carrying all this baggage of what you're not dealing with. And so it's all an illusion. And if you knew on a spiritual level, well, I can unpack that. I don't have to feel this way. And your weight will just fall off as you unpack the bags, as you let go of shit. And you start moving towards your optimum. You find your optimum, and then all of that stuff goes away. But you got to do it from internal work. And then, working on yourself on the inside changes the outside. But then also, there's so much about this changing in your mind, your patterns, your awareness, and but the whole thing of knowing what you are and who you are, to understand, there's nothing that they can do to hurt us. But it's all this transition. It's like I said, still at this point, even though I have this awareness, there's definitely things where I would think, oh, I'm being hurt now, so I'm gonna die. And, I would die. But, I know as a spiritual person, and that your dying is your portal out. So I'd be celebrating, like, oh, thank you. Oh, finally, I'm out of here. I would be like, task completed. Got done with whatever I came here to do. Got done. And so, because that's, you can't get out until you finish whatever you came to do. And you don't remember all of it. And, to me, they've been telling me, they've been telling me and telling me and telling me and telling me what I'm here to do, and what I'm supposed to do, and what's going to happen. But it's all like, it's like at the flip. It has to do with the flipping. And so nothing in my physical represents what they're showing me. And that's like why I say it's such a big trust fall. It's like I have to completely trust what they're telling me and go in the direction that they're leading me, even if I don't see. I'm going in the dark, but I'm listening to them. They're leading me through the dark. And so that is why I say it will be my truth when it is exposed, because I'll see, was I hearing them right? Was I paying attention? Did I understand what they were saying me? So it will be my truth. Once the truth is shown, once we all see our truth, mine, I think, will have to do with what they've been showing me and telling me and stuff. But, I think I'm here for, I don't know, until I get bored and want to leave, because that's more of when you leave. And there's more stuff coming out with the med beds and stuff. Like, there's a lot of people talking about them and stuff. More information being shared about them. And they're saying that there's going to be med beds everywhere in every city. There's going to be med beds. They call them Tesla med beds too. And then I had seen that big factory that was making them. It said Tesla med beds on it. I think it's over by, I don't know, Detroit or something. But in the cities and stuff, this is where you got to be prepared. Like, you got to get yourself shut in, like, and protected, because like what Tucker was saying, he was saying it's going to go wild. Once the grid goes down, once the power goes down, and you can't use your phone, you can't turn on the stove, which that's why I'm not stressing out about. I'm just, everything that gets taken from me, I try and get used to. Okay, do I need, okay, so nothing hits me hard, you know what I mean? So it's just, I've been in constant preparation since this all started, of going towards this, just like when they started talking about food shortages. I went the other direction, where everybody else was like, hurry, run down, stock up, get all this stuff. I got a bunch of dried beans. I am stocked up. I got dried beans. And you can live off dried beans and rice, and I got plenty. And and you can make a fire and boil beans and stuff. Like, there's ways to do it. And I've got a whole bunch of saltines and peanut butter for too. I feel like I'm be fine. But I was definitely thinking of it in a different direction, because I started thinking, well, how much food do we need? And that's when I started thinking about, like, feeding times. Like, they made feeding times. Like, that's weird. We have so many obese people, and we got feeding times. Like, don't miss your meal. When, anybody who's been busy in the day and has missed a meal or two has felt fine. It's not like, if you've ever been real busy, like you're moving and you're just working your ass off all day, and you're not stopping and eating all the time, and then later, you order and get food, it's energy begets energy. So the more energy you're putting in, the more you're stimulating yourself. And so it isn't just food. food isn't our energy source, like what they have tried to get us to be dependent on. But that's another way to control us, is this dependency on our resources, like what we think we need from them. And so I just started looking at it different, like, how much do we really need to eat? Which brought me back to when people were starving. And I thought about, the H word that they told us, and all of the pictures that we saw of those skinny, skinny, skinny people being just dumped in things, which I think that was more back from the 1920s or something. And I'm not sure, there's no telling with the lies that we've been told who the people were. And so all those skinny people who were used and treated like that, if that is true about these camp places that, you can go tour around, but you can go to old Anne Frank's house too. Like, this stuff is wild, man. And I don't know, maybe she existed in 1918 when the New York Times was saying that this cleansing was happening. I don't know, because were the Z's clearing out the blues? Like, I don't know. This is just wild, because the Z's are the ones in charge of all of the different, the terror people. Yeah, the ISTs, and we've got different names for them in different places, but they all work for the Z people. It's all the same people. That's how old Sorrow can get all these people to come over here, and some are crisis actors, some are marchers, they're all instigators. They're there to create trouble and chaos. And so Tucker was saying, if the grid goes, well, I think it's going to, and I think it probably is going to be this weekend, because they're using this rocket to do this. And so it goes out. We have no power. We have no way to contact anybody. There's people who won't be prepared at all, and there'll be a huge amount of looting and danger to try and go into the stores and get things. And depending on the size of your city and what instigators, what crimes, what things are there to be done, I mean, they'll be doing all sorts of stuff. And luckily, a lot of these people who were brought over here, that they're like, they were going home. They're like, this is bullshit, and it's about to get cold. I'm going back to Mexico. I'm going back to Guadalajara. I'm going back to Venezuela. And they're all heading back because there's no place to stay. They're lied to. They're being treated bad, and it's getting cold, and they're out on the streets, and they're like, no fucking way I'm doing this. Like, good choice, because it's gonna get damn cold. It's so fucking cold here right now. I can't even believe it. And so it's like I keep looking at my fire. I don't want it to go out again. It's fucking frigid. And that's another thing, like, for people who don't have heat, people who don't have wood, people who live in apartments who don't even have any kind of fireplace or anything. And then there's going to be no power, no heat, no way to heat your house. And if you don't have, like, one way you can do it is you can put a tent up in your living room, and that will create some heat. There's all sorts of different things too I've seen, like those terracotta pots. You can, what was that? I've seen some really cool things. A terracotta pot, I think you can put a candle under the terracotta pot and put it somewhere like in your living room, and it will heat up the pot, which will create heat inside of the living room. My stomach's always growling through this. Got snoring, growling, a lot of noise. So, and I have no idea. The phone, it's weird how the phone will pick up, and it will make whatever noise it wants louder. It's weird how it does that. So, anyways, because there was another one too, because you can do light in another way too. It was like with a candle, and you put something over it and it will shine it out more, but I can't remember what it was. I started thinking, well, I can sit in the dark. Like, I started becoming more a peace of mind. Like, I don't need light. I sit in the dark a lot. And it gets real dark though when these little lights go off. It's real black in here. But it's like, I can fucking sit in the dark. and I've got wood, I've got water, you know, I've got crackers and peanut butter. If it comes down to really not being able to cook, I probably should go up and get propane. Make sure I have propane, because you can use your grill to cook. And so, whatever. And it's not, and I don't think it's going to be a long ass fucking time. It's not like we're going to be locked down for months or something. I don't think, because it's going to be free energy, and there's going to be this big switch, and there keeps being a thing, like even with these drops or something, they keep saying something about lights on, and so it's going to be, the lights going off is going to bring the lights on in people's minds. Once that starts shifting, I think then the lights will come on, and it's going to be more, you know, we're going to be free energy. Like, I don't know if we'll ever go back on electricity. I don't know how it's all going to go. There's going to be something, and maybe they've already got the quantum internet going, but how would they get our TVs on to be able to tell us anything? So what these drops or something is saying is like, so if Elon goes up, he hits into the thing, there's sparks and shit going, the emergency broadcast comes on, tells us, you know, shelter in place, whatever it's going to be. And the power's going to go out in some dramatic movie style fashion. And then people are going to panic. And then the angry people are going to go out and start killing people and stealing things. And you don't want to go out and get caught up in a crowd like that, man. And best thing is just stay in your place, you know, and be prepared to defend yourself, like Tucker said. Like, I've got my bug spray and my vinegar right there. And vinegar burns like shit, man. You put vinegar in a spray bottle and somebody comes busting your house and you spray vinegar in their eyes, oh, it's gonna fucking hurt. It's gonna, I don't see how they wouldn't be able to fall to the ground on their knees. And bug spray will blind them forever. They won't, it's really bad. And so, you know, I've got that out. I mean, there's a lot of really bad things that happen if you break into someone's house, like that sheriff said. You can do stupid shit, find out what happens. So as soon as, you know, you spray them or whatever, and they fall or they drop their thing and grab their eyes, because, like, if you're holding a knife, you could hit yourself, stab yourself. So I think it would be an automatic thing. They drop it. When they drop what they've got, grab it, and then, you know, be prepared. You know, you think of the things in your house, like heavy lamps. Man, that's what they think. That's how they think of, like, they look around your house, they see what they can use on you. You got to be looking around your house like, okay, so if somebody came in right now and come sneaking through my door, flip them over, stomp on their face, get all ready for them. But, you know, you got to have a plan. You got to be prepared. So, and, you know, got a heavy lamp over here. Well, my dogs would be going on them too. I mean, they would be like they'd be in a problem, because they would get a fight out of it. No doubt about it. And I think I would win, personally. Well, I know I would, because I go on in the game. So if I left this game, it's because I went into the other one, the Age of Aquarius. Like, I'd met the thing and I'm already there or something. So, and that would have to finish with these, all the people would be leaving here to go to the game. That's how I look at it. I don't know, though. Because there's a lot of this is just, you know, we all wait and see how it plays out. But, so, you know, this could totally be the thing. It could be another thing, and it was just a big old dud, another one of their fizzle out things. But I don't know. I think we're way too, everything is way too on the edge. It's like, I mean, Joe keeps doing and saying the stupidest shit. Like, they're going, it's like they've reached the peak. It's like, now it's time for the grand finale. It's like, how long can they drag it out? You know what I mean? And so I hope it's this weekend, even though it's going to be like shit. But still, like, once we get through it, it's like, oh, thank God we'll get through it. Then, you know, it's like head straight into, well, a lot of healing. There's still going to be a lot of anger, a lot of craziness. There's going to be fucking people being arrested like crazy. Like these people who are out. I really think there's going to be some shit on the flag stuff. And there will be some people who will, you know, go down. Just like there's going to be a lot of these doctors, nurses. I know there's going to be city planners. There's going to be, man, everybody who was taking a payoff and stuff, where this corrupt money was coming from. All they were trying to do is buy your soul. And all the people who were willing to sell it, there's going to be repercussions. And, you know, and their soul is here for it. That's what they're here for. You know, it's their karma, it's their lessons, it's their role, it's whatever. And it's so crazy how the universe has us all. Like, there's everything, every possibility. Well, I mean, there could be more possibilities. I guess there always could be more possibilities. But that there's like all these possibilities, and they all just work so well for all of us for the things that we're doing. It's like crazy. It's like the soul as a gymnast has its own routine, and all these different gymnasts all have their own routines, but somehow our routines that we go through somehow all link us together in all directions. It's like it's wild. And so everything has, you know, purpose. Like even if it's somebody, you know, who's doing something really horrible, well, it all goes with it. It's not like they're doing something they're not supposed to do. They're playing their part. And so in their part is cleaning up their own karma, or maybe starting some new. I don't know. I'm not sure, because I only know about my own. The only other ones, you know, I can guess on things when people start telling me things. I can kind of see like how I see things going, but you know, people can change their lives, people can do all sorts of things. So, but you got to believe in yourself. That's the biggest thing. You got to find the belief in yourself through all this stuff. There was something else. There was some other thing that seemed like it was big that I wanted to say. Because, let me think what it was. Did I say all the things already? There was something yesterday that I forgot to finish saying too. I do that all the time. I'll start to say something and then I won't finish what I was going to say, but now I can't remember what it was. But there was a few things yesterday afternoon. I was like, there was that. There was a couple things I was like, man, I should just go in and talk right now. But I was like, no, I'll just wait till the morning and do it and put it all together. But then I was like, okay, but did I get it all? Because there's a whole new list coming out of all these really big names, all involved with that stuff. There's the other list that's supposed to be coming, but now there's all this that these people were the Moes, and they were purposely getting control over different governments and they had control over universities, over so much stuff. It was all being controlled by this nucleus, this cabal. And it's weird how, you know, the Trump, and I don't know, we'll just see. It's going to be something about exposing something, and his son-in-law is blue, and when he was in office, the blue guy was going over and talking, and right now it's like 13 different countries or something is charging the Neff guy, which I don't know if we can say his name, and I don't even know that I could say it right, Neferatu or whatever the fuck. That's weird, kind of like a Nostradamus kind of name or something. Not Nostradamus, no. What was that other one? Nosferatu. His name's a little like that. Oh, vampirish. But so I don't know if his son-in-law, Jared, which is my brother's name, he was going over and talking to that guy trying to make a deal or what. Like, I don't know, you know, what all's been going on with that. But he was going over there and talking to them. And so if this is going to be the divide, like if that's going to be part of the exposing of the difference in the blue and the Z. But that one guy, the Dr. Shiva or whatever his name is, is calling Trump out for sucking the Z cock. So, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, I mean, the Z cock has been in charge of this world for a while. And I don't know that there was some people who knew to what extreme. Like, I mean, they use people like crazy. There's people who were used as, I saw it as like a court jester. Like, yeah, we're going to use you as a court jester. Distract them, have a good time. And, but even that ended up going into such deep, provocative films that people are, it's been a huge, huge part of people's awakening. Like there's a couple of actors who have played parts that have been very impactful. Both of those people were kind of used as, in the beginning, as just like, the fun guy. One of them was, I think both of them were kind of used as just like mindless, court jester. Like, entertain us, entertain the masses, keep them distracted. And, but, the universe had other plans. Like, we're going to put them in this too. And then they've got all these fans. They're going to see this. And then when this starts happening, all of a sudden they've got this reference that's going to boom, 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 boom. Like, I don't even know when it was I saw The Truman Show. It wasn't even that long ago. Like, there was a bunch of those movies I'd never seen before. Like, I don't even know when I saw The Matrix, Truman Show, 23. I think I've seen all of those, like, I don't know, past 10 or something years. No, a long, long time. I don't know. I have no track of time. Does it even fucking matter? No. But there's definitely, that energy was always shifting. But yeah, there's a lot of people, and they keep referencing, certain things when they're making points and stuff. So, I don't know, everything was going to backfire on these people. Like, and there was people, how the universe works. There was people who were infiltrating, they may have been, dancing for the masses, but they were still infiltrating spiritually. There was an impact being made that the other people didn't know was coming. And so it's like they were like mines being set for a war that was to come, kind of. And so, and they've already been going off. Like it's definitely, we're going in another direction. And this is going to be the big push, the big push to shove people out the nest into the other direction, to get them to see. And it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people are not equipped. Just have the power go out. There's going to be people who are going to fucking not be able to handle it. They're not going to be able to not have it. I mean, your phone is a real addiction. And so then all of a sudden, just like, me smoking and stuff, like trying to stop a habit, then is, because you'll want to do something when it's a habit. You have an automatic response. And so then it's like you have to, oh, no, break that. I'm not going to do that. What can I do instead? And that's like one of the hardest things for smokers. That's why they'll like carry carrot sticks and all sorts of things to try and fill in that space. You have to fill in that space that you had created a habit. And so there is a lot of people who, like, once they don't have their phone, they can't access it, and it's cold turkey. They are going to, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, and it's going to be very stressful. And then if they used it as a coping skill, then they don't have any coping skills to deal with. When they go through anxiety, which so many of these people have such high anxiety, if they don't have their meds right there, then they're going to panic. And then when they're in the dark, and if they try and go out and make contact with other people, the people who are going to be put in the streets to make contact with are people who are there to hurt us. And so, and like Tucker was saying, so many people don't even know their neighbors. And I was thinking, man, see, I'm fortunate. Like, I'm in a little area where we all watch out for each other. Like, we all do know each other. We all do go out and talk. Like, we are all, like, right here. And so that's, to me, is, going and living rural. And, oh, I went up to the food bank the other day because I had to go get water. And I was like, oh, the food bank's open right now. I ought to run up there because I've been making hummus so often. I need to get some more chickpeas. And they've always got dried chickpeas. Nobody ever wants the dried beans. I always go get the dried beans. And so I grabbed 2 of the chickpeas and 1 of the pinto beans. So I got more beans. I've got a lot of beans. I got lentils. I've got a lot of beans. So, and you can survive off beans. Like, Stella's going to end up being a bean person at one point. And she does like beans. She likes beans. But, I'm not going to keep doing the meat. I'm not going to go out and buy chickens and take them home and kill them for her. Like, I still play this part of the system for her and go down and get her some chicken, which is so fun gross. Like, even the smell of it, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. There's just something weird about the chickens. And I'm getting whole ones too. And even with those, it's like, fuck, I can't tell what's cancer and what's not cancer. People are like, you gotta get the whole ones because you can see the cancer. It's like, fuck, I don't know. Like, this is so, ugh. And I don't know if that's the bad smell. Like, we're just eating all this rot. Well, I'm not eating it. But, that could be why Stella's getting these fucking cysts on her. She's eating some goddamn rot. I wish she'd fast. I really feel like I want to fast. And there's a whole thing about fasting that when you don't eat, then your cells have to eat themselves. And so they open up and whatever it does, it like revitalizes you. And the longer you can fast, like this one guy I saw, he's been on a 30-day fast where you think you need to eat and drink. He hadn't eaten or drank anything in 30 fucking days. And he's doing great because he's living off of his cell stuff. But see, if they get you in the mindset, oh, I'm starving, you'll starve because you're telling yourself. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm living off of other energy, I'm breathing in energy, I'm working and creating energy, and you start understanding about the energy from that way, and you're not consuming it. And this guy hadn't even drank water, not even water, nothing, for 30 days. And he said it redid like his whole body. He said he felt so good. It was crazy. Like, it takes away disease and stuff. Like, your body starts healing itself. And so I always do intermittent fasting. I always only eat between a certain amount of hours of the day. I don't just eat endlessly. Like, you're not supposed to eat for a few hours in the morning, so get your system going, and then you're not supposed to eat for a few hours before you go to bed. But there's all sorts of different blocks of time. There's 6 hour, there's 10 hour, there's 12 hours, and so you eat only in this certain block of time. Not 12, I don't think, but there could be some. And then you don't eat for 12 hours. So you eat for 12, and then you don't eat for 12. I am more like, out of the 24-hour period, I probably eat, I don't know, in a 6 or 7 hours in that time. But I would like to do a couple days where just skipping, but it's hard. Like, my stomach's just growling and growling and growling. And I made some bread yesterday. I also made some toffee because up at the food bank, they had a bag of crunched up almonds that were out of, I don't know, I think maybe Winco or something. No, I think they were from the co-op or something, because they were bulk crunched up almonds that were already salted and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll make almond roca. But I think I kind of I didn't do it good. I didn't do it perfect, but still, it's okay. I mean, if you're dying for some kind of something sweet. So I just put it in the freezer, and I made some bread. And oh, see, my bread maker won't work if the power goes down. So since I just made this one, I probably wouldn't make one tomorrow, but we'll see. because then it would go moldy. It doesn't have all the shit inside of it, the additives and stuff. And up at the food bank, so it was I was basically empty. I was so empty. Like, and I feel bad for the people who really don't have any food. I just grabbed a few things. I got the almonds and the beans, and there was a bunch of SpaghettiOs, so I got her a couple cans of SpaghettiOs because I was like, when I was young, I loved SpaghettiOs. And and so I had seen a bunch of people leaving with bagels, and so I thought, I'll get some bagels. So, everything was empty. It was so empty, you wouldn't believe it. And so I thought, I'll get some bagels, and then there wasn't, but there was a shit ton of these loaves of bread from Winco. And so I thought, I'll bring that home and make some toast or whatever. So I made some toast. It fucked my stomach. Oh my God, it fucked my stomach. And so then I did it again yesterday, though. I made some more toast. Fucked my stomach again. And I was like, okay, it's definitely this bread. And I was reading on the back, and it does say on the back, warning, this can cause cancer. And it does have so many chemicals. It's like, I'm not eating any more of it. I don't even feel like it would be right to even give it to the fucking squirrels, man. And so anyways, I made some bread yesterday. But, and they were giving away turkeys. So when I was left, I got a turkey. I was like, oh, cool. Stella will like that, and I'm sure she'll appreciate that. So I was thinking, I'll make some turkey. And then I was like, the only way to cook it will be the grill. So hopefully I have enough propane, but I should go up and get some propane. Just to be on the safe side, And so then, because that's what they're saying, there won't be people at stores and stuff. People are not going to go to work. As soon as the power goes down, nobody's going to work. Everything will shut down. And people who don't have things will go steal things. It'll be violence. It'll be really crazy. And because that happened in Katrina, nobody went to work. When like people got up and were like, okay, well, let's keep this city running. No, it goes down. And that's what these people know. That's why they said they're not going to bomb us. All they got to do is turn off the power. And that's out of Twilight Zone too. The Twilight Zone, I remember those episodes, and the power goes out and the people would freak out and they start becoming violent towards each other, and this is a really dark side of people comes out when they get scared and panicky and the lights are out. It gets real, the darkness comes out of people. So that's why you gotta really be careful and keep safe. And so what was I gonna say? So the people, what was I gonna say? Fuck. Every time, it's like I completely can't remember at all what I was saying. Well, anyways, you got to be prepared for what is, just around the corner. Because no matter what, it's coming. And that is going to be the thing. Is the power's going to go out. And they can make it be. This fucking confirmation. EMF or something. It can be like a big blast. But now for them to be making a rocket go up and hit into it. Now I was like, oh man, that could be totally something else. Totally get everybody looking up. Get us all looking up at this show and have that go up there, and no telling, like I really want to see. I do want to see this, whatever's going to go. And there's so many things that I can't see because I'm under the trees. So I don't know. If the sky starts being all colorful and stuff, I'm sure everybody's going to be coming out and looking. And then if it's just boom, 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 and then all of a sudden just darkness. And then everybody's like, fuck, now what, Luckily, my neighbors, we would all go together. We wouldn't go against each other. We would all come together and help one another out. But in places like Tucker said, where people, in most of the cities and neighborhoods and stuff like that, people don't even know their neighbors. And so they're going to, and he said that so many people in neighborhoods, they're different religions, they're different political, so they just divide and they don't come together. So that's going to be another chaos, but that's going to show, you know, you should have override that, the stupid shallow shit, and come together as a group. That's what's important, is the unity. That's where we find our protection. That's where we find our peace. And so people who stay in division, stay in fear, stay in isolation. So, you know, it's a whole thing that has to play out. And for the souls that are playing those parts, it's, you know, they need to learn and they need to see and experience, and then plus show all the other ones that are paying attention. And so there's going to be, you know, when that goes down, it'll be all different things. And it can, you know, because it is water. The firmament is holding water out from us. And so then we can have, like, if there is any hole that busts through, water is going to start coming in. And so, I mean, we could have water start coming in. Like, whatever can go can be very supernatural, crazy, intense, action-packed movie kind of stuff. Whatever's going to happen, and probably will be, is, you know, I mean, the movies aren't going to outdo what's going to go on. I mean, even in this stuff where you see these disasters happening in places, is where is it? I think it's Saudi Arabia. They're having floods from rains from another place over or something, and so they're flooding. And all these different footages, like, man, the one in Brazil of the tsunami coming in is creepy. All the fucking, just all these different places. These disasters and the people who go through them, it is, you know, it's scary. It's scary. So whatever's going to happen, but it doesn't, just because something's scary, remember, it doesn't mean you're going to die. It is, you know, that's where you got to keep your wits about you, you know, and just remember that this is a movie. And even though it seems wacky, because, you know, you feel like you're flesh and blood and you can get hurt when things happen, but that's how you got to get yourself out of that mindset. You got to see, you know, you're in a movie. You're in to me, it's so much like a video game. And, but I'm not a gamer. So to somebody who's a gamer, it may not seem like a video game at all, but to me, it totally does. You're born into some sort of a problem. Everybody gets born into all different ones. You get your, you know, you get your tools, or you get like a bag of tricks. And then you got to go out into the world, and then you come across different people, just like in the tarot deck. You start the Fool, and then you go on your journey. You have all these different people along your way that bring you information, that bring you growth, that bring you tools to move you through. And it's crazy because so many people who get so hung up on being abused don't realize, like, how many tools you really have. You have so many more tools just from your ability to survive what you went through. You gather tools. So you're heading out on your fool's journey with a pocket full of tools that will help you. But oftentimes you're so caught up in your own shame or guilt over your experience that you don't want to acknowledge your tools, because it's a process. You know, it's a development stage. It's you processing through. But then once you begin to understand your journey and all of the different people coming, then you have tools that help you through your journey. You have tools to pass on to others by reference and intelligence and knowledge and stuff. So you have things to pass on through the journey so that they are also on their fool's journey, and you are a person who is passing them on theirs. And so we are all on these journeys, these fool's journeys, meeting different people and gathering information to get to the end where you become, you know, the high priest, the high priestess, the emperor, the empress. You know, I don't know which card is the final, where you finally get to your best version of yourself. But many people, you know, they don't want to, you know, meet the people on their journey. They're trying to, you know, make another journey. It's like, well, this journey was set out for me, but I just want this other one over here. I'm going in this direction. And then everything goes wrong. Nothing goes right. And they just think like, God, life sucks, man. God's so mean to me. I can't believe it. I'm just trying to do this and nothing. It's like, because you didn't come there for that. That's not what you came for. If you came here for that, it would just open up. It would be easy. It wouldn't be a challenge. When you're going in your direction, it won't be a challenge. It will be a trust fall, because you're trusting in the dark what they're telling you to guide you. So you are trust falling back into the universe and saying, okay, I believe you. I'll trust you. Let's go. And you go through the dark, and they'll take you to your journey. And, if you trust them and you follow them, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. You'll have a good outcome. If you're fighting them and you're saying, hey, I know what's right. You guys don't know shit. I've got this plan. Then you're following your ego. You're following what other people think. You're following material desires. You're not following. And they'll stand back. The reason everything goes wrong isn't necessarily because they're throwing things at you. They could be, but it is because that's not your destiny. That's not where you're supposed to be going. So of course nothing's going to go right. It's not the direction you're meant to go. So nothing is going to go right when you're going the wrong direction. So when everything keeps going wrong, that's a sure sign that you're going the wrong direction. And so many people just like throughout our lives, for me, I was, going in a certain direction for like 8 years. Nurse, working all the time, buying this, doing, I had my plan, what I was going to do with my future. And then they said, no, that's not what we're doing here. And had to knock me down and get a brain injury. And I had so many problems leading up to that, all this medication, I'm just turning to them. Nothing's going right. Just, could you give me something to make it feel okay? It's just dumb. And, but, that's because you have to see when you're going in the wrong direction. What are you following? Why are you trying to go there? It's like, well, you guys weren't showing me anything else. Like, what else was I supposed to do? Well, because you were learning. You were on this lessons. Now you got to the end and now you saw. And so it changes your attitude. It changes what, but there is, a part where they will rip everything out from under you. And that is the end. That's the ending of that lifestyle, the ending of your misdirection. It's now, when things are taken away from you, it's now you got to, settle down. You got to get to that kind of, that habitual part of yourself, release that habitual part of yourself so that you can go in the other direction, because that's the beginning. The beginning is starting, but you've got to have the ending. You got to let go of what all of you were trying to do that wasn't really for you. You were trying to be successful. You were trying to be this. You were trying to be that. Nothing was going right. And they're taking your house. They took your car. They're taking people's kids. Like, there's all sorts of shit going on. And it's crazy, too. When these people come in and take your kids, you got no one to turn to. Like, the system's on their side. And that is actively happening right now. And that's so that we see, just like, all of this stuff going on that happened in 2018 and 2019 when we weren't paying any attention. So now they're going to wag that dog and show, and get the people to see. But I think it's going to be kind of embarrassing for a lot of people when they realize, like, that they were overreacting and reacting to performance. Like, there's more coming out about that this is a performance. Like, I feel pretty safe in saying that all of this footage and stuff that you're seeing of this stuff, it's a performance. It's they're wagging the dog. They are, creating distractions. They're creating it from the back room. They make what they want to have happen. And people are just easy to, that's why they call them sheep and cat. That's why they don't look at them like they've got any intelligence, but then they fear them, because then the people will unite and go into a group. So that's why they so passionately have to keep people divided. They have to keep everybody divided over stupid shit that, if you're shallow, that stuff matters. Like, well, you voted for them. Well, I can't be friends with you. It's like, okay. It's people's own inner biases, their own inner turmoil that people don't realize what their real enemy is inside of them. And when you are, living your best and your truth and your unity and stuff like that, stupid stuff like that, you don't care about stuff like that. When you get into the true depth in your spirit, you connect on other things, not on, the stuff that they want to keep you divided on. They can only keep you divided when you're super materialistic, artificial, superficial. And that's why there's so much of that at the forefront right now, because that all has to break apart. You have to break free from your biases. You have to break free from everything that holds you back. It's the chains. It's the chains that hold you. It's stagnant in place. And, this is what it's all about. This is all about the Great Awakening. And there's something, some other drop or something. I don't know. I think it might be the Lockheed thing. And it says something about welcome to the Great Awakening. And the rabbit has a space thing on. So there's going to be something like, I really think that this rocket launch is going to be our finally, the big thing that happens. So if they do put out the power and people have to survive, or people think like, they have no idea how long they have to survive. And like I said, I don't know how long they'll push this, but it will be pushing so people have that come to Jesus moments, so they go inside themselves. And there will be a lot of anger and violence, and there will be a lot of mayhem and death and chaos, and a lot of shit will go down. But for the people who are here for the awakening, the souls that are here for, to go into the age of Aquarius, then they will go through this, mass awakening out of fear, out of being alone and isolated. And what do I do? How do I eat? What am I going to do? What if the power never comes back on? How do I communicate? I wonder if my mom's okay. I wonder what's going on with my dad. And not knowing anything that's going on anywhere is going to cause such panic for people. And there's so many people, they don't know how to cook. They don't know how, their cabinets are empty. If the water goes off, they won't have anything to drink. And the thing is they won't be like that guy who's like, yeah, I don't need it for 30 days. No, they'll start panicking. They'll start being like, oh my God, you got to have this many glasses of water a day. If I don't have this, I'm going to dehydrate. I'm going to die. If I don't have that, they're going to start going through what they've been told. Well, I got to have my 3 meals. I got to have this. I got to have that. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Because that's what they told you, and that's what you're going to feed off of. And so then it's going to, take you in the wrong direction. And that's like why when things started going, it's just been my way. Like I said, when I was in elementary school, and we did some kind of a thing one day where they wanted to check and see who was right-handed and who was left-handed. And so we all had to do this writing thing and see what we had to do, these tests on our hands. And then once I found out, like, we weren't all the same, and that there was a group of people who could do both, I was like, well, I'm doing both. And because to me, I was like, well, what if something happened to this one? And then I couldn't use this, and I couldn't do anything? And it's that same attitude when they start saying about, well, there's food shortages, they're blowing up this place, they're doing this, they're doing that, there's not going to be food, they're fucking in control of all the food, it's all fucking fake, which it all is fake, because everything's fake, I started thinking about, the depression, and I was doing the comparison to the H, and all those people starving, and I was like, but that was the lack mindset. They were put into a certain mindset, because during the depression, people could eat, have a half a sandwich every 3 or 4 days. There was people who made, like, flour and water became a source of a lot of different recipes. Like, they came up with all sorts of things to do with flour and water. And so it is, my butt starts getting so sore. And so that's where I start thinking is like, so what do we really need to survive? Like these people did it. They fucking eat a lot of flour and water every couple days, and they were fine. Yeah, it was hard times. They say it was horrible, but they did it, and they did it with a good attitude. I mean, if one person had something and somebody else had nothing, they'd share it. They didn't, and that's what I'm trying to say about this mindset now. Like the lady at Walmart, she's trying to go out and be a good deed doer, which, she probably wasn't taking good care of herself to begin with, but she needed that charge of like, go viral doing good deeds. So everybody just says you're such a great person. So then you can distract yourself from your real pain and suffering and your real healing that needs to be done, because you got people patting you on the back telling you, you're a real hero here. And it's a game. And the universe ain't gonna play no games like that. They're gonna make sure you have to face your shit. And so but when they bring somebody to you, when something comes to you, so even with the dog, even though I had put out the feelers, which to me, it's almost like, was he putting out the feelers? Was he already being disrupted in his home? And Stella needed like, the universe is, is magnificent. That's all I can say. And so, me telling the neighbor, if you hear of anybody who's got puppies or something, let me know, because Stella needs a friend. And she goes, okay, well, I don't really hear about anything like that, but I'll let you know if I do. And I said, okay, thanks. Because she works at the school. She works with a bunch of other young moms and stuff. So I thought, it's the most likely person. I have no community resource. I was kicked off because I said that people were acting like, well, he did exactly what I said, trying to shut down people who were saying anything different than you. That's like what brown shirts do. That's like what the Yahtzees do. And so, when the shoe fits, look in the mirror and see what you're looking at. And so, there you go, Ted. Royal pain in the ass kept me. But I was supposed to be that way. I was supposed to be cut off from the community. I'm supposed to be isolated from the community. So when I ask her, and then 2 weeks later, she messages me and says, oh, there's a girl who has a 5-month-old puppy that they've got to rehome that's going to the shelter unless you take it. And I was like, okay, let's see him, bring him over. And so, save this little guy. But that came to me, right? And, this person, there's a lot of things that come to me. That's what you got to get kind of in the thing, is when something comes to you, that's your sign. That's when you got to make a move. That's when you got to, do something. That's when you got to go into your trust fall, and so, and, when somebody comes and they're like, hey, I'm broke, like, think about that, a sandwich. Well, okay, I can give you half of what I got, which, that's what I do. I can give you half of what I got. But I do trust the universe, and I don't sit here and think, well, my house payment. Oh yeah, because that's what I wanted to say about that. So when I went up to the food bank, the guy who's I was on the HOA board with, he was handing out the turkeys. And I know the HOA gets notified when we're not making our payments. And I stopped making my HOA payments. I stopped paying taxes. I stopped paying credit cards. I stopped paying all that stuff when all this stuff started. And the house one has been more of a game. But now I feel more secure. Like, there's no way. I'm secure on this now, I feel. But the people around me, they don't know. These people don't know shit. Like, if there's another person like me around here, they're, I'm sure, kept in the silence too, kept in the dark. But yeah, these people don't know shit. And even when I tried to say something, because they were up there, you're putting up fucking all the stuff, and you had to have this on. I mean, it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. That's when I started looking at the people like, oh my God. Like, I'm not in my group. Like, not with like-minded people. And so When he was giving me the turkey, he starts saying, yeah, so I want to get some parties planned because I'm on the event planning thing. And then, I don't know, the other girl hasn't been saying anything to me, even though I've said, yeah, I'll help with any parties or whatever. And we did start to do a 4th of July one. So they did have a big 4th of July one, and I wasn't involved. And I don't remember, I may have been because I was arguing about the thing over here. I might have been out of town. I'm not sure what it was, but somehow I didn't go to the 4th of July one, but he said it was really big. So many more people got involved. He said it was really big, fun party. He said, and really want to get into that. I said, yeah, it's too bad because we had such a good 2020 New Year's Eve one. It was even a theme one. So we dressed up for the Roaring 20s. We had this giant ass clubhouse and stuff. And so, we had that one. We had a really cool, this was before quarantine. This was my first year here, when I was all involved with the HOA. We had a Halloween haunted house. We had a cool ass haunted house and Halloween party. Oh my God, we did such a fucking cool ass haunted house. And then our plan, like we were all into it, all of us that were up there doing it. We were going to do it the next year even bigger. We were going to charge money, and then everything, blew apart. And so everything blew apart. And then I started seeing everybody so differently too. And so he was saying all this stuff to me. And then he was like, well, yeah, next year, I definitely, and then I was like, yeah, I'll do whatever, just tell her to message me. I'm on the event thing. I'm the event planner. So just tell me what events you want to plan. I'll do them. And he's like, okay, yeah, because next year, he kept saying that. And then I get in my car, I was like, oh, that's why he kept saying it. Because he's trying to see if I'm going to say anything about, well, I probably won't be here next year. I'm losing my house. So they'll all be surprised, because I know that the banks are going down. The banks are corrupt. There's loans that are already gone down. There's already, all this stuff is already happening. And so I'm not going to, I just feel, especially that my auction time is March. And I just feel like that is, it just gives me plenty of time to be like, okay, this shit is going to be done way before March. I think it's going to be done. I think a lot of stuff is going to be exposed before the end of this month, definitely before the end of the year. I definitely don't see the banks having a stranglehold on us in 2024. So, yeah. But anyway, so he's sitting here thinking, that I'm losing my house and I'm not making my payments to HOA. I'm not paying any of this stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking like, well, I don't know about my role in this community soon. I don't know, what it's going to be. But, I'm definitely going to, like, there's going to be all this money involved. But I don't know that this area would get some for Freedom City because of our area, where we are on the map. That would be the only thing where I would say, like, if we don't get money for a Freedom City money, then it would be because our city is going to be gone off the map. But the places that are, like, if we were considered to be a safe zone, which, I don't know, it's iffy, then all of this money is going to be dumped in the communities. So it's like, oh man, they'll be able to fucking fix that pool, put the golf course back in, turn that back into a thriving hub for a community center, and, start turning this into a real community. And so, but we'll see. I don't know what the future is just because of that doomsday map is like, it's very iffy where I'm at. It's a lot more like I'm probably on the scale, I'm probably 20% like, oh yeah, we'll still be here. And the rest is like, oh, I feel like I'm definitely, headed inland. But like, I agree with what Tucker said. This is not the time. And even where I've seen these people who have gone out and tried to start their homesteads, they're getting hit hard by stuff. And they're out there in isolation and stuff. Because it's going to be different when we start going. But, you know, we needed all these things to happen. We needed these certain people to just keep hanging on every word of the government, hanging on every word of the media, other people breaking free a little early. Like, it all had to go. It all had to have all these shifts. It's like all the pieces had to start moving. And so it's, you know, we're in the midst of the storm of all the pieces are moving. But so, anyways, you got to stay safe. And there will be a time where once this breaks free, like if we go lights out, it could be 3 days, could be 5 days, could be 7, could be 10. The worst I've heard is like 3 months, which I don't think is going to be that. Like, I don't think that they would do the whole winter. But there could be, you know, some different places and different, you know, it could be a place that is like going to have really bad storms and they only have to endure it for 3 days and suddenly they've got power. Another place where the weather's not too bad and there's a lot of shit that goes on, like California, and so it's off for a week because it's, you know, it's like sifting. It's like they're sifting out the good from the bad, kind of. It's like, you know, it's all about your energy. It's all about what you're putting out and, you know, how you look at things and stuff. So anyways, I don't even know. When I say some of this stuff, it's like I can see it and I can understand it, but it's like, fuck, you can take this in so many different ways. All I can say is that everything, you just gotta go way deeper. This place wants to keep you on the surface. They want to keep you in this artificial fucking cesspool. Everything you think, you gotta go deeper into your way you look at things. And that's something that they've said the whole time on the Q stuff. It's like, you know, go deeper. You gotta go deeper. So everything that you hear, you can take it on the surface or you can go deeper and try and get to the crux of it. Try and really understand. And to me, always ask questions. Ask questions. You have a committee in here waiting to fucking talk to you, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to, you know, but then there's the discernment because you got to know who you're talking to. And the dark energy will fool you. So, you know, it's just work. It's just work. It's just learning how to understand life on a different level. You've been held back into a very superficial, shallow level. And now it's time to, you know, go deep in and start understanding things to a much deeper level. Your spirit is in deeper. It's a deeper level. There's a lot on the surface. So there's a lot to go into and learn about. But that's what all this stuff happening is for. Everything is for that purpose, for you to awaken, to go deeper into yourself, to understand yourself, to heal what you need to heal, to grow into the person you want to become. So anyways, just be ready. I don't know if he'll do it, like if he's going to do it, if they're going to do it close to midnight. Like I may not be able to record tomorrow. I mean, if he does it in the morning in Florida or something, then our power would go out if that's what's going to happen. I don't know. Because you think that they've got to kind of do it in the dark if they're trying to make a big show up in the sky. So I don't know. Maybe he'll do it tomorrow night. Maybe they'll let everybody go to work for, you know, gather their stuff and they'll keep talking about it. And there's all this conspiracy theorists out here saying, hey, well, be concerned, get ready. Because, you know, we've been waiting for this big one to come. And we can only hope that this is it. So anyways, just be ready and be prepared and don't get scared. Don't get scared. Don't, like, especially if you've got a lot of dark energy. They'll start fucking feeding your fears. You got to battle them. It's a fucking spiritual battle. You got to battle them. You got to notice who's talking in there, who's trying to get me scared. It's time for you to shut the fuck up and get on out of here. You know, and the more that you shine light, more you witness and see them, and you understand that they're manipulating you and trying to talk to you in your head to keep you in a certain energy, then the more you are on that spiritual battle. You're in a spiritual battle. And you're fighting the dark and it's inside of you. So, you know, stay in that fight. Don't give up. Don't surrender. Don't pull out the white flag. We'll see what goes on with these flag situation. I think there's going to be some lessons. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And just be ready for anything. And I will talk to you, I don't know, the next time I'm available, or the next time when I can, I guess. Like, we'll see. We'll see what's to come next. Like, I don't know. So I'll talk to you when I can. Stay safe, and just remember, what it's all about. It's all about you. And try not to get too caught up in other people's problems and the distractions and all of the things. Keep your focus on what you need to work on and what you need to release. And, and sometimes it is helping others. Sometimes it is setting boundaries. Like, it's a variety of things, and you're the judge, jury, it's all you. And sometimes you'll do things that are stupid, and, just learn from them and keep going. Don't get caught up and sit back. Well, I thought I had so healed. I thought I was so spiritual, and I can't believe I just did that. No, just look at it and be like, oh, okay, good. I'm glad I saw that. Now I know I do that. Be aware of that and just keep going. Don't hold yourself back, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.